It's nice to see you, Chansansa, Natasha, Maretta, Rhoda,
Wow.
Dia, Sequila. It's nice to have you guys on the call with us today. Tasha has just joined us. So great to have you guys. So we're going to get started, and today I'm so glad to have Janine Stuart with us for another episode within the Bongo Hive Webinars student series. And this is the sixth webinar we're having within this series, and it's the first of our Monetizing Your Hobby series. So with this series, we're going to be listening and hearing from individuals that have started their business and turned their hobbies into a business. So we're going to have everything from food to fashion to art. So I hope that all of you are going to join us. And I'm so happy to have you guys joining us from Facebook Live and those that we have here on Zoom. As you know, our student series sits under our Bongo Hive X program that is focused on student-led innovation. And so today we have Janine Stuart, and her session today is going to be focusing on highlighting the highs and the lows of running a cake business and decoding the business of baking. I love that. As well as how to turn your passion into your paycheck. And Janine shared with me that this session is also going to focus on longevity. So yes, you've turned your hobby into a business. How do you stay alive as a business? How do you keep going, especially if this was something that was born out of your hobby? For some of you that may not know, Janine is a certified cake baker from the South African School of Weddings with a business degree, which she obtained from the University of Greenwich. She has spent most of her postgraduate life working a 9 to 5 in different companies, but her sole passion remains to be in the kitchen creating amazing cakes, as we're going to see soon. She is the founder of Oh So Sweet Cakes and is passionate about sharing her entrepreneurial journey as a cakepreneur. And so today we're going to listen from Janine. As I'm always saying, please take down notes. Please be as interactive as possible. Even if you're joining us on Facebook Live, we have a team that's ready to take your questions and share them with us here and to share them with Janine so that she can respond to them. We're going to get as interactive as possible, so please be ready to have the conversation. As we usually do, please let us know where you're joining us from. If you're at uni, what uni are you at? Are you a baker? Please let us know in the comments section. Janine, over to you.
Oh, hey, thanks, Sakai. Thanks so much for that amazing introduction. Hello to everybody who's joining us today, and welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be here and to join in on this webinar. I've got so much to share, and like Sakai said, if you're someone who likes to take notes, you better take notes because I'll be dropping some gems as we go along. So welcome and thank you so much for joining us, and also a big shout out to Bongo Hive for this opportunity. And yeah, I guess we can get into it. So turning your passion into your paycheck, and I'm gonna just start with a brief introduction. My name is Janine Stuart and I am the founder of Also Sweet Cakes Confectionery. I've been in the baking business for close to 10 years now. But I've been baking for the longest time, from as far back as I can remember. I've always grown up around people who were so good in the kitchen. My mom is a really good baker, really good chef. My grandma is a really good baker and a really good cook as well. So you can just imagine that all that had to rub off on me, and here I am today. So I have them to thank for all that. I decided to take it a step further when I realized that I was actually really good at what I did. And that's how, I guess you could say, I turned my passion into my paycheck, because if it's something that comes natural to you, automatically you'd be able to cultivate it. And so that was the first step that I took. So the most common question that I receive is, how did you start your business? And I think a lot of the time people think I just woke up one day and I had a business. Like I just woke up one day and boom, she just baked cakes. But that is not the case. Like I said, I've been doing this for quite a while now, and I didn't I didn't get in with the intention of um, I didn't get in with the intention of, oh, I want to start an empire, or I want to, you know, have a whole bakery. It was literally a baby step. I had an aunt who was amazing, and she afforded me the opportunity to bake cakes for her tuck shop. And that's how I started. And then from there, took it further. And I guess there were all these doors that God was opening for me, and all these opportunities for me to be able to just find my fit with what I did and just be able to grow from there. So it's not even a matter of I had everything together at one time and I started. If you want to start, literally, you just start, because all the elements or everything that you need for you to be able to start won't align at the same time, so you might as well just take the jump, take the leap, and everything will follow through from there. So I'm gonna walk you through like a brief scenario of what I've done, my life as a baker, and just my overall cake journey. So let's take a walk together. Yeah, my journey has not been easy, but it has definitely been worth the ride. Let me tell you that. Late nights, tears, and yeah, occasional cakes being thrown at the wall, but I mean, who's counting? So anyway, this is basically my life in pictures. I literally look like Lilo. I mean, a Stitch. Every single day, this is my life. I'm literally looking at the oven, like looking at you guys. It's cakes every day. So that's that. My first cupcakes, can you imagine? Those are my first cupcakes that I did. And that was in 2010. I did those. That was like my first order for somebody. So no, I didn't just wake up one day and have it all together. You can see how I started. And then my cupcakes now, yeah, they are the bomb. So you can definitely see the progress, and all this progress is because of good practice and just time. Yeah, it's all just time. So I do that. I do kids themed cakes. I've put some that are there. You can see those kids themed cakes for birthdays. I have so much fun doing these. I think because I have a younger brother, and every time I'm doing one of these, I just remember him as a kid. I also do adult themed cakes, birthday cakes, and most recently, wedding cakes. So I did eventually, after many years of just being self-taught, I did go to school, like Sakai had mentioned at the South Africa School of Weddings. So I am certified, and yeah, ever since I came back, I've been creating wedding cakes. So I'm a wedding cake stylist, a wedding cake consultant as well, and I absolutely love being a part of people's weddings. So those are some of the ones that I've done. I have put cakes on planes a few times, yeah, different destinations. So there's a picture of that there. I have done destination weddings. I've had my stuff sent to various locations for weddings that were not held within Lusaka. So much fun, but it is stressful, but it is so worth the wait when everything just finally gets put together. It's amazing. I had the pleasure of doing Cleo Ice Queen's birthday cake in 2019 with her soiree that she threw. It's almost June. Cleo, let's talk again. It's almost your birthday. Call me. Yeah, I've had my work displayed at ZADS, that's Zambia Arts and Design Show in 2019. I was so excited for that. So excited. I had my cake, wedding cake showcased to everyone who attended, but I did this in conjunction with the Wedding Directory Zambia. Shout out to Wedding Directory Zambia for hooking me up, okay? And when I'm not doing that, I'm doing classes. So I do host baking classes as well. So for any of you who are interested, you can drop me a message at the end of all this and I'll let you know how. But yeah, I do classes as well. So much fun, so much fun. And when I'm not doing that, then I'm creating recipes for my food blog because I do enjoy cooking as well. So yeah, I'm always just recipe creating. And when I'm not doing that, I am creating content for my YouTube channel. Yes, guys, I do it all. But yeah, so that's just a brief background and a brief story, my life in pictures. So many others, you know, but obviously I have to keep it limited. But I hope that's given you a bit of an insight as to who I am and what I do as well. Guys, okay. So, as Sakai had mentioned, I briefed her about this yesterday, it's so easy for me to just tell you, start your business, you know, like just get up and bake a cake. I can give you the recipe, you bake a cake and then what? For me, like having been doing this for such a long time, I've encountered so many different opportunities, so many different challenges, and many different other, you know, issues and encounters that I wish someone would have warned me or told me about so that I could have been ready for those. But, you know, it is what it is. And you get here through learning. It's always a learning curve. And it's always an opportunity for you to grow. So I wanted to do this webinar on a more of a business longevity approach. Because, yeah, like I said, I can tell you to start your business, but how are you going to keep it afloat? How are you going to deal with different scenarios as they come across? And for me, I guess it's just like the 10 tips I wish someone would have told me before I started this thing. So that's that. And I guess we can now go into it. Okay. So yeah, those are the objectives. To give you the principles you need to have a lasting cake business. Okay. At 10 tips, I wish somebody told me, you know, why didn't anybody tell me that, girl, you will go through it? But anyway, first tip number one, because sometimes as entrepreneurs, we'll get the money and we put it in our pocket and we think this is mine. It's not yours. It's not yours. It's for your business. So number one, guys, money matters. You have to be disciplined with your finances, especially if you are trying to grow. You cannot mix your income that comes from your business with your personal finances because you will automatically assume that it's yours, but it's not. It is for your business. If you can, then you have a separate payment account for your customers that they can use to pay for their cakes, but do not mix it up with your personal account because you need to be able to monitor how much comes in, and you also need to be, like I said, disciplined, because once you start eating into your the money you make from your business, then it means you're eating into your capital. It means that you're going to have less money to do other things related to your business. Because don't forget, guys, in order to make money, you need money. That's the reality of it. So always have that in mind, that your business money should always stay separate. And if by any chance you do happen to use your business money, be honest with yourself and be disciplined enough to say that I'm going to pay it back and actually pay it back. Okay, so I learned this, trust me, I really did learn this. Make budgets and keep track of all your expenses. Just like the running of any other business, you need to know what's coming in and what's going out so that you can know if you've made profits or if you've made losses and things like that. So yeah, make budgets, keep track of your expenses and of your incomes so that you have a structured monetary system in place. Okay, I know your business may be small, but still, it doesn't matter. That's where it starts from. You have to start from the beginning. You can't say, no, I'll be disciplined when my business grows, because if you start with this habit now, it's going to follow you all the way through. Trust me, I know that. And so I'm going to just put it out there. I'm guilty. Like, I'll be walking through the mall, see this cute shoes or this cute something in the window, and I'm just like, someone paid for something the other day, let me just use that. And then next thing, you've used your business money, you have this cute thing you've taken home, but you don't have your money anymore. So if any of us are guilty of that, say I. On to the next point.
We have some people saying I see from Shanta saying I. Yes, guys. How many of us are guilty? I know I'm guilty.
We are here.
So you see
start a
something
support
cute.
group.
We need one. This is our support group, guys.
This is it.
This is
Let's be honest.
space.
It's a safe space. Yes.
So even Ali Tukupasia says I. Guys, let us know. Are you guilty of this? Especially those of you that have already introduced yourselves and said you're bakers. If people have paid for something, have you been guilty of taking some out and paying for something cute for yourself? Let us know. Let Janine know so she knows that we're all being real here. Even Rhoda is laughing and she says I as well. And Memory Banda. Guys, keep those confessions.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. You have to be honest with yourself. Like, you just have to, because the first step to progress and to healing is to accepting you have a problem. So
yes.
Oh gosh. Okay. Thanks everybody for being so honest. Our next point is treat your business like a business. And like I had mentioned earlier, it doesn't matter whether you're baking from home, whether you're baking from your dorm room, from your mom's house. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, as long as you're calling it a business, you have to treat it as such. If you don't, you're gonna get comfortable, you're gonna get complacent, and you're gonna just start doing things anyhow. You have to have some level of structure, like have a level of structure, because again, like any other business, whether it's Fortune 500 or it's also sweet cakes, you have to have a structure, you have to have systems. It's just the way a business is run. So I'll give you an example. You can set collection hours for people to come pick up their cake. So you can say you're available for collections between 8 and 5 or between 8 and 3. This also reflects a level of professionalism, because people will then understand and also respect that you have these hours, you have these policies and these systems that they also need to abide by and also need to respect. Just for example, imagine if you have plans, okay, you have plans, cute dinner plans, from 7 p.m. you're gonna be out. Someone's supposed to come and pick up their cake, but you didn't communicate. 7 p.m. comes, you're ready to go, this person hasn't come, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. they're calling you, can I come now? And these things happen. So I'm just giving you a warning, like before those things do happen, it's important to set just structures. If you work from home, like if you're not a student, or like if you're just at home at the moment, or even if you're a student but you are at home at the moment, set a waking up time. Like for me, I wake up at 6 because I have stuff to do at 6, so you have that routine so that you are able to also just build yourself as an entrepreneur. You're able to build yourself, and also it just gives you structure. You need structure in your life, so that's important. You can do that. Have policies that will help guide you on matters such as refunds. payment terms, and also customer dissatisfaction. So this is not a one size fits all. Everybody's different. Some people have no refund policies. Some people have refund policies, but what's the percentage? Some people accept only a full payment. Some people accept a deposit, like a half down payment, and then the rest when the cake is picked up. So this is, yeah, like I said, it's not a one size fits all. So it's just up to you. And also you will notice that even as your business is going along, as you encounter all these different scenarios, you'll be able to set whatever it is that actually works for you. So you have to, those are key things, and I can't express this enough. Refund policies, because someone will give you money and then turn around tomorrow and ask you for their money back. And if you don't have a policy in place, then what do you say? You know, at the end of the day, yes, you want to keep the money, but at the end of the day, the work hasn't been done and there's no communication on refunds. So I think it's very important that you have that. Payment terms, you can be flexible, but it's also important that you protect yourself. Ask for a deposit. You know, there's been scenarios where someone would say, oh, can I just pick up on collection? And I'll be like, yeah, cool, no problem. And this person just doesn't show up. They just don't show up. Now what do you do in that case? So you need to at least have a deposit so that you can cover your costs on the work that's already been done. And now, it's not my favorite, but this happens. Whoop, and when it happens, it's customer dissatisfaction. Okay, customer dissatisfaction. Because sometimes there will be customers who, even if you put out your best, you know, there's something that they won't be happy about, maybe the service or even the product, and you have to deal with that. So how, like, it's difficult because there's no scenario that's the same. Like every time a customer is unhappy, it's always new. And how do you deal with that, you know? So you also have to be able to have these policies in place so that if you do deal with someone who's coming at you, you know, you have backup, you've covered yourself. You're like, listen, this is what it is. This is my business. I need for you to respect it. In that way, they understand, and then also you are protected. So these things, I know you think that, oh no, but this hasn't happened to me. But if you plan on going in this for the long run, trust me, it will happen to you. And the sooner you get this done, the better. So that being said, have you ever had a run-in with an unhappy client? Have you ever? Yet?
Yes, guys. Please let us know. Have you ever, for those of you that have started, I know Natasha, you were talking about how you haven't started yet, but you want to take the first step. So like I already said to you, thanks for being here. You're in the right place to learn what you need to know before you start. But for those cakes, you've only been in business for a year. Have you had any situations where a client or a customer is unhappy with the product that you delivered to them? Please let us know. Again, like we said, this is a safe space, so you guys can confess those things here. You can share those things with us. And who knows, maybe Janine has some advice for you, or maybe she's experienced the exact same thing. So please share with us. Memory, you said no, not yet. But if you have, please let us know. For those of you that are already bakers that have experienced this, please share that in the comments with us so that we can let Janine know that it's real out here. We are also experiencing these things. Eve Everett says, hey, my name's Everett and I'm a baker for 4 months. Yes, I have had a run-in with an unhappy customer. Rhoda says, I also haven't started a business in baking, but I'm terrified of the thought of having such happen. How did you deal with it, Janine, when you've had it before? I think take us back to the first time this happened, just really quickly before you go on to your next point. Um, when when it happened to you the first time, how did you deal with it? You've spoken about policies on this and customer dissatisfaction. How did you deal with that? If you could give us an example. So
Yeah.
Chansansa is also saying that she seconds Rhoda on that, being terrified of when this happens. Memory says, I started my cake business in January and haven't yet had the non-happy client, but keen to learn how to deal with it when it happens. Nava here showing support for all those that are terrified, letting them know not to be afraid and letting them know that they'll grow into it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for giving each other support in the comments as well. But yeah, Janine, give us an example of what happened to you.
Okay, so the first time I had a dissatisfied customer, she sent me this picture. She sent me this picture and she's like, oh, can you do something like this? And I was like, yeah, of course. I mean, okay, it wasn't that difficult to do. And I was like, yeah, sure, of course. Like, I'll do that. Cool. And then she says, okay, fantastic. So we agreed on the payment and everything. And then I did the cake according to, and when she showed me the picture, she said, this is something that I took from my sister-in-law who bakes in another country. And I said, okay, cool. And I told her, I was like, I'll lay it down for you straight right now, that number one, skill sets are very different. And you have to also emphasize this. I'll get down to this in one of the later points. You have to emphasize your skill sets, because someone in this day of Instagram, someone will send you this picture and say, do this, but you might not have that skill yet. Some of the products that they use, we don't have that here, so you have to be able to communicate to say, I can't really do this exactly. And I did that. I said, listen, I can give you this exact same theme that you're going for, but not like that. I did the cake. As usual, I put it on the gram. Everyone was happy with it. Everyone, like literally everyone. And then I give her the cake and she's like, it doesn't look like the photo. I was like, sis, first of all, okay. Now, in my defense, I had just gone into like my baking full time. So I was still navigating the waters of dealing with dissatisfied customers. I'm gonna put it out there that naturally, I'm a very impatient person. So I've had to learn to just calm myself down before I respond. So that happened and I was like, listen, I made it clear to you that skill sets are different. I couldn't give you an exact cake, but I've delivered a pretty bomb cake, if you ask me. She just was not happy. She's like, no, it just does not look like the photo. It just does not look like the photo. And I said, okay, that's, it's not a problem. Obviously, she was heated. She got pretty mad and pretty upset about it. And in the end, I just said, okay, you know what, it's fine. You don't have to pay me the rest of the money. That's how I handled it. You don't have to pay me the rest of the money. And I think that was because, like some of the people in the chat have said, you're so scared. You're scared of those encounters because you don't know what's going to happen. And I didn't want the effect of my name to be bad. I didn't want this person to have a bitter taste in their mouth. So she did accept the cake, and also she didn't pay the rest of it. So that's how I dealt with that scenario. But you'll come across different people who throw different things at you. All I can say is that in that moment, do not take it personal. I know sometimes you do. And for me, I think for me, it's because what I do is a reflection of who I am. Like in the cake I put out, there's a piece of me that goes with it. Like I'm just attached to my product. So it's instant for me to take it personally when someone says something, but You have to remember also at the end of the day that you're a business person, so you have to handle things very professionally. Don't take it personal. Don't lose your cool at all. And also offer your client or offer your customer options or solutions as to how you can make it better. You know, it's always about just giving them options as to how you can rectify this situation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks, Janine. And Natasha, I've just seen your question, but so that Janine is able to cover the rest of her slides, I'll save your question for the end so that we can ask her about this example. Janine, just so you know, Natasha has a question about your example, but we'll save it for the end so that you can get to all your other points.
Definitely. Cool. Okay, and also in treating your business like a business, it's a business. You want it to grow, you want to expand, you want it to be big. So you have to look for opportunities. You can't just sit at home and say, oh, I wish my business would grow. Like, what are you doing about it? You know, what are you doing about it? Are you calling people? Are you posting on social media? Are you looking for, you know, other opportunities where you can find your fit and place your product, things like that. So treat your business like a business and always look for ways to take it to the next level. Okay. Number 3, practice and invest in your business. If you're gonna get good, you have to practice. The more you work your hands, the better you become, and that's a given. I mean, you guys saw the pictures from my cupcakes 10 years ago and the ones I've done now. It takes practice and it takes time. And I'm gonna advise, you know, like everyone, for those of you who want to start or those of you who've already started, there's so many online resources that you can use. I wish I had as many resources online when I was just starting up, but I didn't. So I was forced to basically just watch TV and read books and magazines. But for you guys, there's so much Instagram, Facebook, tutorials, YouTube. Take advantage of all those things because it's free. Number one, hello. To learn a new skill, to learn a new decorating technique, to learn a new recipe. Always be willing and open to learning and trying something new. Okay, so yeah, take advantage of resources and practice as much as you can. Like, it's one of those things that you can only get good at the more you do it. So that's what it is. Practice, practice, practice. Practice doesn't make perfect, but because, like, even for me, I'm still learning, I'm still growing. But yeah, practice and you'll get there, you will get better. That is a given. Take time to perfect your craft. Again, that's through practicing. Also, take classes. Like, there's so many people in Osaka who do baking classes. I do them as well. You can see there's a photo there of, oh, yeah. So I do host regular classes. That was before COVID-19 happened. I was hosting regular classes, but we shall resume soon enough, still seeing how to work that out. But yeah, take a class if you can, you know, just be involved with other bakers, talk to one another, support one another, bounce ideas off one another. It's always important to be in a group of people who do the same thing as you so that you can share your experiences. That's why you guys talking in the chat is so amazing. Like, I'm really feeling that right now. Invest in your business. So obviously, the more you grow, the more people will be requesting different things from you. So at any opportunity you get to buy, you know, new tools, new baking equipment, you can take it. And this is where my first point comes of importance when it says that your business money is your capital. So the more money you're making by a business, you invest it back by buying new tools, new equipment, and new ingredients, and just things like that, so that you're able to broaden your skill set and your product offering. And whenever somebody approaches you with an idea or something that they want you to create, okay? So this is very important because you can't bake today and then like 3 weeks from now and then say, why am I not getting better? The time gap between between your practice sessions is too long. So try and make it more frequent, practice as often as you can. Number 4, you win some, you lose some. I wish someone would have told me this when I was starting, because I took everything personal, everything. Like, if someone would approach me and ask me to bake for them, I'll give them my price, or, we'll talk further, only to find out that they go somewhere else. I would take that person, not directly to them, but just like within myself. And I would just like have a panic attack, because now I'd be like, why did they not choose me? Am I not good enough? Why did they not choose me? Am I too expensive? Why did they not choose me? It took me a while to understand that everyone is allowed to have their preference. You won't be everybody's favorite, and you have to be open to that. Keep it moving, accept it, and on to the next one. It's business. After all, people are allowed to go where they want to go. But yeah, for me, when I had just started, that's something that really took a while for me to get through, to get over, was that I used to wonder, like, why not me? Why not me? Is my product not good enough? But it wasn't my product, and I had to get to a point of realizing that it had nothing to do with me, my product, or my pricing. People just have different preferences. And so it is what it is. We move, but yeah, I mean, it's power to everybody out there. It's all good. Also, very important to note, do not undervalue your product just to gain customers. Guys, this one, if you know that what you're putting out is bomb, price it like it's bomb. If you know that you make the best red velvet, price it like it's the best red velvet. Don't hold back, okay? I know, again, I was guilty of this in the beginning when I had just started, because of competition. So people would come to me and be like, oh, but so-and-so does it for so much. And I'll be like, okay, cool, fine, then give it to me. Give me that money. And I'll give you the cake for that. So that happened quite a bit. I'll be like, okay, how much money do you have? And I'll take that and then give them the cake. But after time, I realized that that's not serving anyone. It's not benefiting me in any way. I'm gaining customers, but I'm compromising myself, my values as a business, and really I'm not respecting the work, effort, and time that I put into what I do. So don't be swayed into lowering your prices, just to impress other people, because at the end of the day, really and truly, you will lose out if you're accepting less than what your product is worth. So yeah, on that note, if you be comfortable, be happy, to know that this is my product, this is the effort that I put into it, this is the time that I put into it, I put my heart into this, and when I price it, all that is considered, and this is what it is. You can leave room for discount. Do that, like obviously times people ask, can you give me a discount? Leave room for discount. It's very important. But don't always use discounts and lower prices as a way of an incentive for people to buy. Be true to yourself, be true to your pricing, be true to your product. That's what I can say. And like I mentioned, that was me in the beginning. So is anybody else who's fallen victim to this? Anybody out there?
Yes, guys, let us know if you've fallen victim to this. So lowering your prices to impress people. Thanks, Swazi. Swazi says, yes, I have too. And obviously there's a balance between listening to your customer and knowing what they need and what they want, right? And undervaluing yourself because you're panicking about the market and whether or not you're going to make money, right? Or if you're going to gain popularity and gain customers. So it's good to know that you guys have experienced this as well. And as we go on, Jenny will share. And Sophia says, I once charged my cousin so low that she refused to accept it. So we have quite a few people that have experienced this. Luendo says, it's difficult for me to deny my customers a discount because I'm just the type that finds it hard to say no. Memory says, I have been rejecting low price offers and was somehow feeling guilty. Now I'm comforted. So thanks, Janine. We'll allow you now to share with us your next point.
Okay, thank you. Next is competition. And competition, it all depends on your perspective. So there are some people who would go, like, I'll see somebody else's work and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that is so good. This person looks like they're better than me. Oh my gosh, could I be able to do that? Oh my gosh, you know. And also, like, when I had just started out, I was obsessed with looking at other people's work, other people's pages, that it gave me such anxiety to the point where I had so much self-doubt about what I was doing. I joined so many groups on Facebook because I was like, I need to be a part of this Baker's World, Baking Union thing. That didn't work. I exited all of them. If you're still in a group, don't exit on my account. Please don't do that. But yeah, I just found that I would look at other people's work and have anxiety. I would have self-doubt and just wonder, like, could I do that? You know, am I good enough? But then I also had to come to the realization that I am literally running my own race. And you guys, the Bible says it, run the race that has been set before you, yours. Don't look at what the next person is doing. Focus on your own path, focus on your own vision in the front of you, focus on what you're doing, do what you do and be good at what you do. Don't look at the next person. Don't dumb yourself down. Don't have self-doubt about your work. Just stay positive, believe in yourself. If you're just starting out, I'll advise you on this one is to take it day by day, baby steps, take it day by day. Work your own craft, work your own, like, run your own race, and just stay focused on what you're doing. You know, stay focused on what you're doing. Mind the business that pays you. So if your business is your baking, focus on that. Don't focus on what the next person is doing. That will give you anxiety. That will make you stressed out. Okay, that's a point. Yeah. Now, other people, because like I said, it's a matter of perspective. So for other people, competition fuels their fire. So they'll look at something else, be like, yes, I can do that, you know, or yes, that's great and all that. And I'm here for it. It's all about how you look at it. But at the end of the day, competition is good because it makes you want to do better, inspires you. Looking at other people's work does inspire you. I get inspired a lot of the time. Now that I know better, now I know better and I do better. Yeah, so looking at other people's work does inspire you, makes you want to try more, makes you want to learn more, makes you want to just get up and go. So at the end of the day, it's all about you just wanting to do better, to be better, to know better, to practice more. Okay. Number 6, be consistent. Consistency, like anything in life, is important. Like anything in life is important. I'll even use simple example as a relationship. Who you are at the beginning should be who you are, or even better, months in to it. Don't say you're this person now, and then months later you're somebody else. Sorry, that's just a simple example. But yeah, be consistent. Consistency is key, you guys. The cake you put out today should be the same cake you put out tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Your product should always maintain its quality, or if not, get better, not worse. A lot of the time, as people grow in their business, they'll start cutting corners, cutting costs, trying to do things faster, or trying to make the product for less. But at the end of the day, you're compromising your quality, the quality of your product, and also you are giving a lower version of what your clients are used to. And trust me, customers will notice. They do notice. So just ensure that the product you give out, like when you start, should be the same. Maintain your standard, maintain your quality as you go along. Trust me, people appreciate someone who maintains their quality, who maintains their standard. They really appreciate it, and that's what's going to keep people coming back. And I have a little visual example right here. This is the same customer. Her birthday cake on different years. But yeah, so I have the first one, 2016. I was still learning by then, you know what I mean? So yeah. But yeah, 2016, 2017, 2019, same client. She keeps coming back every year for her cake. I do it. And she's one of the people who recommends me the most in life. So shout out, baby girl. So yeah, be consistent, you guys. It's very important. People will know you for your consistency. People will know you for your product. And that's what you want. You want to be known as a person who gives out good stuff. Okay. Number 7, master the art of communication. Who's that one who was saying that I'm scared? I'm scared to have a dissatisfied customer. As you go along, you will learn how to manage different characters, manage different situations.
I believe that was Rhoda. It
was
Rhoda. Was afraid.
So, Rhoda, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. I know in the beginning it's scary, it's uncharted territory, but as you go along, you'll be able to know, okay, I've faced this kind of client before. I've faced this kind of situation before. So it's just the more you're in the business, the more you interact with different people, you will definitely be able to win in your arguments. Not win, but you'll be able to find common ground and keep your customers happy. So yeah, number 7 is communication. Master the art of communication. It's so important in anything. Again, communication is very important. You have to be able to speak, to be understood, but also to be able to listen. So for this one, the points are, and like I had mentioned earlier, there's some things that I can't do, honestly, at this point, like my square cakes, guys, still a bit scratchy. I'm getting better, but I'm honest enough to say that I'm not very good at it. So if someone comes to me and says, and this Instagram thing, I want this cake. If I know that that cake is not within my skill set, I say it immediately. Because I don't want a situation where I can promise someone something and under-deliver on it. Because then you'll be known as the person who under-delivers. And then you'll be the person on Facebook where they put 2 pictures and they'll say what you asked for versus what you got. You don't want to be that person. So if you're honest from the beginning about what you can do and what you can't do, you would save yourself a lot of pressure, and also your client will appreciate that, trust me. If by any chance you can't do something, offer your client suggestions. I mean, don't just say, no, I can't do that. You can offer suggestions as to what you can do, what's within your skill set, and if they accept that, then at least you'd be able to meet on common ground. But don't force yourself to do something that you know you're not yet very, very good at. Clients are always happy when you over-deliver. Trust me, that's a given, over-deliver. So if you find yourself in a situation where the cake, you promised a certain time, but you understand that the cake is not going to be done, communicate ahead of time. Like, I'm so sorry, the cake is going to be late, this, and this, communicate that. If there's been an accident, the cake, maybe the cake fell down, someone poked a finger in it, you have to communicate regardless of the situation. You don't have to tell them exactly what happened, but you can communicate to say, I'm sorry, but there's been a situation. Are you okay with picking up the cake later? No matter what happens, do not go quiet. Do not go quiet on your customer. Always keep open lines of communication. Let them know what's happening. That way, you're at peace of mind, and they can also make an informed decision from there. So yeah, communicate. Next, customer care or customer service skills. Like I said, you'll deal with people, with different people, different personalities. As you go along, you'll understand how to handle certain situations, scenarios, what to say, what not to say, what to do. And at the end of the day, it's not you against the customer. At the end of the day, it's you and the customer finding a common ground and helping them be at ease, giving them peace of mind, and giving them the product that they have requested, that they need, that they require from you. Don't take it personal. Sometimes you may have to sacrifice. Had a situation where cake was picked up, it broke along the way. I don't know how, but I had to do it again free of charge because, you know, I just wanted everyone to be happy. I want to stay happy. So sometimes you will have to make sacrifices here and there. It's all part of the game. It's a business at the end of the day. So just be aware. Be aware of that. Also trust yourself, and, you know, just always keep your customer in mind. Always put yourself in the customer's shoes. It will help you be able to see things from their perspective. Go the extra mile. This is important. Under promise and over deliver. People will be happy about that. If you can throw in a cupcake or two for free, do that. You know, if client maybe needs you to deliver the cake at last minute and you're able to do that, but wherever you can go the extra mile, do that. It will gain you customers for life. People will appreciate you, they'll appreciate your work, and trust me, they will call you again. And like I had mentioned the earlier slide of the girl whose cakes I've been doing, word of mouth is so important. So important. People need to know that this girl, this guy, if I recommend him, he's gonna do a good job because he's never let me down, and I know that he won't let whoever I'm sending to him down. So always make sure that when you interact with a customer, give them the best service, the best product, so that even as they go out and they tell the next person and the next person, they'll be singing good things about you. So important, so important. So yeah, customer service. And sometimes it's not even just, sometimes it's not just about money, you know. Sometimes it's just doing things because you want to, because it feels like the right thing to do. So you don't have to gain anything from being nice or having good customer service. You just do it. Just do it. Okay, number 9, be patient with yourself. Okay, Rome was not built in a day. There's a reason they say that. There's a reason they say that. Acknowledge your small wins. Celebrate them, because it will motivate you to want to do more, to want to create more, to want to try more. So every time, you know, like you have a small win, celebrate it, do a little dance, you know, a little yes dance. It doesn't have to be with other people. You can do it on your own. It's fine. But always acknowledge where you are, be happy with where you are, and always strive to do better, to do more, to work harder, and to put in more effort. Okay. Yeah. Also, you can't pour from an empty cup. This happens sometimes. You have creator's block because you're stressed from, I guess, just other things happening around you. So always make sure that you are taking care of yourself as a person. Rest, sleep, eat. Because if you yourself are not taken care of, then it affects your work, and people will notice that, you know, people see these things, And you don't want to put out something that's half good because you're not in the right mental space. So always make sure you're okay mentally, physically, you're fine, you're well. I have people, someone out there is probably watching, and this person shouts at me all the time that I don't sleep, you don't sleep, you don't sleep, you don't sleep. But sometimes, yes, you have to sacrifice, you don't sleep, but always make sure that when the time does come for you to rest, to eat, take regular breaks, it's very important. Look after yourself, you guys. I know sometimes we're focused on trying to do as much as we can, push as much as we can, but all in all, you have to make sure that you are firm standing, and then everything else will flow from there. So I have a little quote here that says, people will quit on you. You gotta get up every day and make sure you never quit on yourself. So it's all about you at the end of the day. It's your dream, it's your work, it's your vision. No one owes you anything. So people can get up today and just be like, I'm not really feeling what she's doing, you know, but you have to believe in yourself enough to say that, no, I started this journey and I'm going to finish it. And like I had said earlier, sometimes you look at somebody else's work and be like, am I really that good? Am I good enough? Don't pay attention to that. Those are just the little voices in your head that stop you from making progress, stop you from trying. I said this to myself last year. I said, I would rather try and fail than not try at all. So believe in yourself, trust in yourself. You've got this, baby girl, baby boy. You got this, you can do it. Okay, so yeah, be patient with yourself and take care of yourself as well. Number 10, you guys like that picture? Y'all like it? Put it in the comments if you like that picture. I'm sorry. Number 10 is be original. Don't fit into anyone's box, you know. People will want you to do a certain type of cake and that's all that you do. If you want to create the wildest, most craziest things, do that. That is your vision. That is your creativity. You do that. Don't look at what other people are doing and say, that looks like it's trending. Yes, maybe you can get a hint of that skill, but don't just follow people to say that this person is doing that, so I'm going to just do that as well. No. Believe in your own creativity, because if you want to be a baker, you have to be creative. You have to be creative. And this one, do not copy someone else's work. Do not copy another baker's work. And I say this because, again, with the age of Instagram, people send pictures all the time. Can you do me a cake like this? Can you do me a cake like this? And for me personally, I know how much work it takes to do something, and I wouldn't want to take that away from somebody else. That cake and everything about it flowed out of another person. Why would I want to take that away from them? So people will send you photos, pictures, and things, and you can use that as inspiration, you know, or you can use that as a starting point, but don't copy somebody else's work. Also, just for your own protection, because you copy someone else's work and they're gonna follow you. You know, they'll be like photo critics.
That's true.
And then what are you gonna say? So yeah, create your own magic, my love. You have it in you. You have it. You just have to pull it out. And so on my nice cute little picture there, it says, your originality is where your ability to create comes from. Don't water down that beautiful part of you. Your best work and ideas flow from that part of you that no one else has but you. So tap into that. Tap into that.
Thanks, Janine.
You're welcome. Those are my top 10 tips. I wish somebody told me.
So you could share with us. Oh, by the way, everybody says that they love your picture. So they love it. It looks really cute, and things like that. So thank you for sharing it with us. I know I'm going to try it,
Oh,
maybe
wow.
with an avocado, to tap
Right.
into my creative side. But you
Bring
were
it
also
out, girl. Bring it
your,
out.
you were also going to share your resources with us, like some of the things that you
Yes,
use to inspire yourself. Yeah.
definitely. Okay. So these are my resources. So on social media, even on TV, Jamie Oliver, because he's such a simple guy. And, you know, if you're also just a beginner, you don't want someone who's going to come at you with this complicated ingredient or this complicated recipe. And you're like, where will I even find that? You know, so I like Jamie Oliver because he uses very simple ingredients. His technique is very simple, but he executes to the max. And when he sits down to eat his own food, it reminds me of me because he's just like, this is so good. So Jamie Oliver, I like Molly Ye as well. Yeah, she's American, so you can follow her on social media. And also Cakes of Instagram. So Cakes of Instagram is a page where different bakers from across the world post their stuff, post their work, and you get to just have more of an option to see what people are doing. Nigella, I grew up watching Nigella. This was before YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and all that. So Nigella, she's been with me from the beginning, and my grandma also had a lot of Us Weekly cookbooks and cutouts and things like that. So for me, those are some of the resources that I used, I guess, on my journey. I still have a lot of these cutouts, these books and these things, because I always go back to them for reference. So in terms of knowledge resource, skill resource, that's what I use. And for my usual cake supplies, I go to the showgrounds. In the showgrounds, there's a cake shop. It's called Tamboja. They better pay me for this. I'm joking. But yeah, there's a cake shop in the showgrounds called Tamboja. They have a wide range of different utensils, tools, ingredients, and it's one of those when you go in, you don't want to come out because all of a sudden your creative juices are flowing and you're just like, yes. So I'd advise, yeah, for anyone to go get stuff from there.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Janine. Thank you. We've run out of time, so I'm going to select a couple of questions for you to answer.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing your contact details. So, guys, by virtue of being here with us today, Janine has opened up her life and her business and her knowledge to us. So if you have questions, if I don't get to your questions, please email her, please slide in her DMs on Instagram, send her a message on Facebook, and just let her know that you were a part of this webinar and you had a question and she can respond to that. That's going to be great because then she can respond to you directly. And this is only because we are running out of time at the moment, or that we have run out of time. If we have any questions, say 1 or 2 questions from the team that are joining us on Facebook, for everybody that's joining us via Facebook Live, Maretta, please share those with us now. But I'll just go back to 2 questions, and I wrote these down just so it's very old school, but I did. The question was around the example that you gave us with customer dissatisfaction. And it was, you shared in your example that you said, okay, you don't have to pay me the rest of the money, it's fine, because they were dissatisfied. And Natasha wanted to know that when you told them not to pay you the rest of the money, had you already covered your costs, or did that come as a loss to you? If you could just clear that up for us.
It came as a loss to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, because at the time I was still doing a 10% deposit. So someone would pay 10% and then the rest upon collection. But when you calculate the cost of the cake, everything that was used, 10% really covers not much. So, and on top of it all, I had to deliver the cake. So my gas wasn't even included in that. But yeah, and those are some of the things that led me to actually knowing the importance of setting policies, so experiences like that.
Thanks for that, Janine. I'm going to refer to my little book again.
Yeah.
So Rhoda, I'm going to read two questions from Rhoda, and she was asking much earlier, have you considered online baking classes? And how do you deal with nibbling, especially when it comes from like your friends or family? So you're baking, this is your business, and people are like, oh, can I taste this? And things like that. How have you dealt with that? And have you considered online baking classes?
Okay. So, oops. Okay, so I have considered online baking classes. We are just still working out the logistics of everything, how it's going to work, because we've never done it before. So I just want to make sure that by the time I'm ready to have an actual class, everything is covered, and we are good to go. I don't want a situation where we do it and then there's all these glitches and these mishaps. But yes, don't worry. Soon we're working on it. We are working on it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So there was the question on family, and I'm just going to layer that with a question from Sequila, who's asking, still in the same line of family, how do you deal with family members who believe they don't have to pay because they're family? So you've just told us this is our business, and you have family that are like, I've known you since you were 5. If you bake a cupcake, I can take it, right? Because we're family. So dealing with family members that want to nibble, or even your own urges to nibble, and family members that don't want to pay for the products that you make.
Okay, so
quickly answer those two.
Because of monitoring sugar intake, I try as much as I can not to nibble at all. The recipes that I use, I've been doing them for the longest time, so I know how a cake is going to taste. So dealing with nibbling, I'm pretty disciplined when it comes to that. For my family, let me tell you guys, I have a mom who just wants, my mom wants cake in the house all the time. And I have 2 brothers, and if there's nothing to snack on in the house, it's me, So I love that they are my #1 fans. So I always make sure that at least every weekend I bake something, at least every weekend I bake something. And it's not so to say that so that they can have something to nibble on or snack on. It's just so much as how we have our family time. So it's like tea and cake, our bonding sessions, and that's how we treat it. And then for family who don't want to pay, you gotta pay. I mean, I do bake for immediate family, obviously at no cost, like birthdays, my mom's birthday, grandpa's birthday, grandma's birthday. I'm the only granddaughter, so I take that role on. So I bake for everyone's birthdays, immediate family. Everyone after that, you gotta pay up. You gotta pay up. Yeah.
Thank you. We just got like a boatload of questions, and like I said, we're at the end of the webinar today. So if you have questions, please take note of Janine's email address and send those to her. And once she responds to you, share them using the hashtag BHX Student Series. If you get information that's valuable and that you want to share with everybody else. But we're at the end of the webinar today. I want to thank you, Janine. We're going to have you back at some point, I'm sure.
Part 2. Let's do a part 2 of this.
It's going to happen. And throughout the session, all we're going to do is answer questions. So guys,
yes.
So we'll take that under advisement. But thank you so much, Janine, for joining us today and taking out the time to share your 10 tips with us, to share your knowledge with us and your experiences with baking and building a business in baking. Guys, please follow Janine on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you for sharing, Janine. Follow Bongo Hive across all social media platforms. It's Bongo Hive. And on our website, it's bongohive.com/webinars. You can see this webinar. It's going to be up before 5 p.m. today. So if you came right at the end, for example, with you, Kavanda, then you can go back and watch what we've been talking about. And if you want to go over all of the points again, you can do that. And if you want to catch up with the rest of our student series, you can do so there as well. For those of you that are students, I'm sharing a link to our WhatsApp group of student innovators and problem solvers. So please join our group. We want to have all of us together in one room as we think about and explore how to solve problems, how to build viable solutions that change the world. So thank you everybody for joining us. Please just wait for me to share with you the link to our WhatsApp group and to our webinars. But thank you so much, Janine. If you have any final words to share, please do so now before we close the webinar.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me today. Thank you so much for this. I'm glad that I got to tell my story, share my story, and obviously be able to help the next person or the next person who's trying to start up their business. It's not easy. You'll face a lot of challenges along the way, but you have to be strong, be resilient, and believe in yourself and pray. Yes. And yeah. So yeah, those are my tips. Above everything else, those are the most important.
Thank you, Janine.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
so
you everybody
much.
for sharing and being engaged. Those of you that joined us via Facebook Live, thank you for joining us. Guys, I'm really sorry we couldn't get to all of the questions, but like I said, please reach out to Janine and ask her the questions that you have for her on building a business in baking. Reach out to us as well at Bongo Hive. If you have any questions around business, it's what we do. So reach out to us as well and we will be sure to respond to you. Thank you everybody for joining us. Have a good day.